For filming the final production of our film, we used the Canon 700D camera, which coped quite well in consideration with the relatively extreme lighting conditions that we had to deal with. We had to return to the filming location a couple of times for reshoots, and each time the Canon was reasonably consistent with what film it produced. We did, however, encounter some issues with grain caused by the lighting conditions, particularly in the more low light conditions, which ideally we would have counteracted with a degrainer, but unfortunately that option was unavailable for us, so we attempted to use other techniques within Premiere Pro to minimize the impact that this had on our final cut. In regards to lighting, everything in our film was shot at night due to the mood we were trying to achieve along with what worked best with the location. The film wouldn't have the same impact if it was filmed at a transitionary level of light such as dusk. Because of an almost complete absence of light in some cases due to thick tree cover in the area we were shooting, we used a lot of backlighting to achieve an eerie mood while brightening the frame enough for the viewer to have a relatively clear line of vision for what was going on. This presented us with plenty of other issues, however, such as strategically placing the lighting in such a way that the background shadows didn't obstruct the film and break the fourth wall, which is part of what contributed to the need for reshoots. In terms of gaining Foley sound, we were lucky enough to film in a relatively quiet and calm suburban area for the first scenes, meaning we were able to take the direct audio from the camera's microphone and treat that to use behind the video. The off-trail filming was extremely remote and produced some really interesting Foley from the rustling of the trees and the gushing of the nearby stream that ran alongside the trail that we filmed on. So we decided that the direct audio again would help add to the tone and overall vibe we were aiming for. Music is used to again add to the eerie vibe and help build tension towards the end, and therefore relies heavily on dynamic range, which really helps to amplify and add to the effect that the extra Foley for props that we added in had, such as the cocking of the pistol and the gunshot sound effects. The most evident extra Foley we added in was in the ending scene, in which we relied entirely on the sound to convey what was going on, as we found that attempting any form of gore within the environment we were filming in would be nearly impossible and extremely hard to attempt logistically. Regarding fonts, we decided on a Gothic font, Old Heraldry, which was overlaid by a more modern, bold sans font, which is a hollowed out form of Helvetica Neue. We found that the Gothic font in red, paired with a more modern font in white, aesthetically gave the logo a more sinister vibe, as well as making the text appear almost as if it was on fire. Further subtitles in the movie were done using a variation on Helvetica Neue to tie thematically back to the main title card at the beginning of the sequence.